For many, the holidays can be a difficult time, a time of sadness, while others are celebrating. Now, I'm here with Chaplain Dave Rasmussen with the Castle Medical Center. Today, we're talking about coping with grief over the holidays. Hello, thank you for joining us. Good morning to you. Before we talk about how to cope with grief, can you first define what is grief?
It's loss. If you lose something, you hurt. You know, I set my phone down last night and I couldn't find it. And I was having grief because I couldn't find it. And when you lose a loved one or an important person out of your life, there's just almost a physical pain sometimes, but a lot of emotional stress that goes along with that.
Okay, and people deal with grief in different ways.
Oh, yeah, so many different ways. Everybody does it differently, and for one person to say, oh, you have to grieve like this, it's really not realistic or fair.
Yeah. It's also probably unfair for people, you know, maybe someone could get over grief quicker than someone else.
Yeah, you know, if you have two people who lose a loved one at the exact same time, there'll be two very different tracks because of circumstances in the relationship, in their own life as they go on, the support they get, and that's one of the really big things for holiday grief is to be supportive without being dictatorial. Mm-hmm. Don't try and tell someone how to grieve or how they should or shouldn't.
How about the differences between how men and women grieve?
We don't have enough time to go there.
Well, men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
It's different, but you know there's similarities, and we just need to allow people the chance to grieve in their way and be supportive of their process, and not tell them they're doing it right or doing it wrong, but just say, hey, I'm here with you.
What are the signs that someone is grieving? What should people, you know, around or in a family, what should they look for?
Withdrawal, pulling away from the normal, pulling away from routines, pulling away from family, pulling away from relationships. People just sleeping a lot. Sometimes that's a coping mechanism that some people use. Others can't sleep. So it's like ways of grieving. There's many ways of doing it. There's many ways of exhibiting how it's happening. So it's something that's happening that's not normal for that person. Mm-hmm. And don't get panicked about it. Grief is a natural process that allows us to cope with a loss, but it's not fun.
Right. So if we see those signs in friends, family, people we care about, how should we handle that? What should we do? Do you have any tips for us?
If you have a good relationship with them, say, hey, I'm just seeing how you're responding, and do it in a non-accusatory, non-blaming way. You know, you're bad for doing it. No, it's you're grieving. Is there something I can do to be a help and support? Can I be a listener for you? And that's the greatest gift that we can give on the holidays to someone who's grieving, is the gift of listening, active listening. I hear you say this. I'm hearing you say this. Not saying, you're not doing good, you're having a horrible holiday.
Right. You don't need someone to point that out to you.
You don't need to be having that described to you what you're doing, because we have a pretty good idea what's going on inside.
Sure. People grieve, of course, year-round, but the holidays seem to heighten those emotions.
Yeah. It's one of those things where suddenly all the traditions, all the practices of the past are just blasted away, and you start trying to recreate a new way of living, a new reality, and it's not fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here. We appreciate those tips. And you're a chaplain at Castle Medical Center, so I'm sure some people may find comfort also seeking your support.
We're glad to help when we can.
Yeah.
And just once again, being that listener is just a very important gift. So put it on your shopping list to be a good listener.
All right. Chaplain, thank you very much for being with us.